Just before lockdown, I visited Untitled, the Kent studio of the artist duo Langlands and Bell, who have spent a career looking at themes of architecture and power. They were preparing for an exhibition in Accra, Ghana, titled The Past is Never Dead, which examines the slave forts along what was once called the Gold Coast. These European strongholds, built by the Portuguese, Dutch and British, were first constructed as trading posts, but quickly became slave dungeons. They bear witness to a disturbing shared history between West Africa, Europe and the Americas, which the artists describe as subject to a willful amnesia, forgotten, especially conveniently, in Europe. There were more than 50 slave forts along the coast of Ghana, of which about 20 remain, through which many of the almost 13 million enslaved Africans passed as they were sold, branded and shipped to the New World. 2019 was declared the year of return by Ghana's president Nana Akufo-Addo, marking 400 years since the first English slave ship arrived in Jamestown, Virginia. Members of the African diaspora are encouraged to come to Ghana to discover their roots. Last year, I too went to visit some of these charged sites. At Cape Coast Castle, for example, the dank, dark dungeons where thousands of slaves were chained in crowded, disease conditions, stripped of all dignity, are decorated with wreaths left by their descendants. The governor of the region lived above, attending church and supervising proceedings in tiled rooms with breezy views over the Gulf of Guinea and miles of golden beach. For a forthcoming exhibition at Gallery 1957 in the Kempinski Hotel, Accra, Ben Langlands and Nikki Bell have spent 18 months documenting these slave forts, assembling ground plans of the strategic architecture, fortified structures that represent ruthless power. These plans resemble the Adinkra symbols used in Ashanti textiles and architecture, and in some works have been rendered in the style of Asafo flags, appliqué works that echoed and subverted the standards seen on British ships. They are shown alongside plans of London institutions, such as the British Museum and Tate, which were to a large extent founded on the profits of slavery. The message is that all such institutions should acknowledge and work through this history. Visitors will pass through a replica of the Door of No Return, into a room featuring a video projection of the seascape as seen from the beach at Elmina Castle. This would have been the last bit of Africa over which slaves would have walked before being ferried to transport ships. On board, they were kept in even worse conditions than at the forts. 15% would not survive the transatlantic crossing.